Alright, time to open some packages. This, I'm sure it is because it's the bigger one, but this is the only one that I know what it is. So we'll find out what these other ones are. Oh, the Sharpener. I do have one of these already. It came with my, I don't remember what the kit is called, but there's a cleaning kit basically that comes with this. I think right now it's $14.99 on Amazon, or not Amazon, on Leatherman's website. But I picked this up to have a backup, and because it was extra cheap, it was cheaper than it is brand new, and it is brand new. It works fairly well. Again, I mentioned this in a previous video that I'm not a sharpening connoisseur, but it does what I want it to do. It hones. This is for serrations. And maybe other things too, but I know that this is what you would use to sharpen serrated parts of a blade. So yeah, there's that. That's not as exciting as a new Leatherman itself, but good. I knew I had something in this one, in this set, that wasn't an actual Leatherman. So, okay. Next. It is always exciting to see the different ways people package their Leatherman when you purchase them online. All right. Oh, right. Okay. Well, this is a non-Leatherman sheath, clearly. It is definitely homemade. It's made out of soft chrome tan leather. I only know that because I do a little bit of leather working. But yeah, this looks like maybe someone chopped it off their couch and made a little sheath out of it. But the purpose of this sheath is because they don't really make a sheath. The little KBx knife only. And this one looks like there's a little bit of rustiness down there. We'll see how extensive it is. Yeah, there's a little bit there, and the aerations over here. The blade itself looks to be in really good shape. It's got a perfectly sharp tip on it, not dented at all, and the serrations. This is often where you'll see the most damage on a used Leatherman is in the serrations, as whatever they're cutting, the force is centered in the middle of those, so you'll get the middle of these serrations really gnarled up, and you can a lot of times really tell from the back where those little points are not pointy anymore. So if you're buying a used blade and you don't have great pictures of a lot of stuff, a lot of times you can still see whether or not these are pointy. And if they're not, then the blade has probably been used quite a bit. So this one is going to need a rust bath. I don't think that's just dirty. No, I think it's rust. So it's going to need that. There's a little bit there too. So the handle too is a bit rusty. Pocket clip's in good shape. There is no damage to the, I think it's Cerakote, but the color itself, there is no damage to it really, which is, I think, why I ended up picking this one up. I think this color is called Denim, which I've only got 2 of these. I've got the standard stainless steel one, and then I've got the green one, because lime green is my favorite color. So this one is Denim, I believe. And it's my second favorite of the ones that I've been on the lookout for. Now I have to pick up a Denim Skeletool proper, not a KBx, because I do not have one of those yet. But these are handy, and they're definitely a little pocket knife. They're teeny, and again, they don't have sheaths or anything like that really fit them. So yeah, I'm glad to add that to my collection. Alright, let's do this last one, and this is the one I've been keeping my eye out for one of these for a long time, and finally found one that fit that sweet spot of condition and price. So, we'll see. Oh, great. I forgot that it comes in a sheath. And this is one of those sheaths that, I don't know when the exact years were and all that, and what all tools it came with. But this is one that's around the same era as the knives, the Crater knives and those. So I think I've got one of these is all. So they're one of the rarer sheaths, at least in what I've seen. But this is not a knife. This is a Charge, and it is a gray Charge. And it's actually got the paperwork, which is nice. It's a little greasy and gnarly, but it's cool that they kept it anyway. I'd rather have it than not. Now, what is this? Okay, so this is a Charge. ALX is basically what it is, but I believe, you know what? I can't remember what it's called. It's an SVX or something along those lines, but it was exclusive to Costco, if my information is correct. I know that it was specific to one of the big retailer, the big bulk stores anyway. But yeah, most of them that I've seen, which I haven't seen a whole lot of them, have been in fairly poor shape, at least the blades, which is, normally it's the body that is out of shape more than anything else. But this one does have a pretty perfect blade. Looks like there might be a teeny little sign of use on the very tip there. But there's no scuffs. It's just kind of dirty. I'm sure that'll all just wipe away the residue there. But yeah, no scuffs. Looks good on the back. It might have been sharpened by the owner, or it was just a kind of an uneven factory sharpen. Because right there you can see the angle doesn't match the angle elsewhere on the blade. So anyway, not a big deal, and I don't know for sure that wasn't factory. And as long as it's factory, I don't care what it looks like. If it's done poorly, then I want to preserve that. I want to see that there was something done poorly by the factory. And more serrations, just like we were talking about. You can tell by the points generally how good a shape the blade is in, how much it's been used. Like these two up here are a little more rounded than the sets down here, so it has been used a few times. Oh, looks like there might be a teeny bit of red rust right there. So might need to give it a rust bath. It doesn't hurt anything as long as you don't have any black oxide, which includes custom blades. Essentially, that is an oxide that's put on it, that's lasered into it. So if you've got a custom blade, putting that in Evaporust will also make that go away or become very, very faint. Saw looks good. A little bit of funk on the tip there, but I don't know that it's rust. But again, I think this will probably get a rust bath just from that other spot that I'm pretty sure is rust. So if that is rust, it'll also go away. File looks used but not abused, which is a lot of times what you see. That I think is rust. So yeah, a couple little spots. And to be honest, that's how I like to buy my tools. I like them to have a little bit of fixable imperfection. Imperfection is good. It means a cheaper price. If it's something that I can fix to bring it back to life, then even better. Okay, just a little bit of marking there from opening and closing. That's totally normal on almost every Leatherman. See what the jaws look like. Teeny bit of red coloration in there. So yeah, we'll give this a rust bath. And I can imagine when you get Leatherman wet, those itty bitty little ridges are going to hold on to water when others aren't. So that's probably a place you want to keep an eye on. Now these older Leathermen that don't have the plus, the replaceable wire cutters, you do have to keep an eye on those because sometimes they'll get pretty banged up. There's a reason that they change them to be replaceable, because they may be the first thing that goes on a Leatherman. But these look like they're in really good shape. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Okay. The action is how I like it. I know some people like them stiff. I prefer them to be loose. They're easier to use that way. And of course you can make them stiff or loose how you like it, depending on a few tips and tricks. We'll talk about those some other time, or you can find out about them on YouTube. That's how I found out about them. But yeah, there appears to be no nicks of any kind on the aluminum scales, which is, like I said, what I absolutely look for. Other things can be fixed a lot of times, but the scales, yeah, you can't fix those really. I suppose I should check these out. Ooh! See, now is that just oil, or is that oily rust? Yeah, it might just be the color of the oil. Snaps good. Yeah, I'm thinking that is actually rust. Oh, we're giving it a bath anyway, so that's good. The bit is in good shape, and I mentioned earlier in another video, I like the bits that have the combination Phillips and flathead, because you've got them both there. You don't need to have a second bit. It's more useful to have a flathead, in my opinion, along with a Phillips, rather than two different size flatheads or two different size Phillips. The date on this one, 8/07 for this handle. We'll check the other to see if it's the same. The resistance on these is perfect so far. It's not grainy or choppy when you're trying to open it. It's not clumping. Yeah, that's in good shape. And it looked like that one did have oil, like very intentional oil on it. I think a lot of sellers like to oil these up before they sell them, which is odd because they're also dirty a lot of times, and if you're going to oil it, clean it up too. Yeah, a little bit more oil there. Little spots of rust, it looks like, as well. And 10 of 07 is the date here, and you may have noticed that there. Looks like there's a spot of rust down in there as well. So yeah, there's, I'd say, a completely normal amount of rust for something that's being carried. Every once in a while, you're going to get some moisture on it, and if you put it away without cleaning it thoroughly, as in like blowing it out with an air compressor, then you're going to get stuff like that forming. This is a dry weather here. We don't really get moist air. Things don't get rusty just by existing where I am. So that's a benefit for sure of having tools here. Actually, I'm curious. Yeah, still locks. All right. So that is a Leatherman SV something or other. Again, I'll put it right here. All right. So that is today's openings. We'll see if we have another mail call here probably within the next week or two. It's right after the holidays right now, so the mail service has been pretty busy. I've got several of them coming next week, I believe. So this time we got this, and then the sharpener. Well, thanks for joining me in opening these, and we'll see you next week, likely.